Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for inviting me to join this conference. I am really deeply thankful. Please make sure your interpretation is active because I am going to express my position in the Ukrainian language. Poland continues to be a free state and Ukraine continues to be a free state, but Ukraine keeps fighting for its freedom. If we continue to stay together, if we continue to support each other, if Poland will continue to stand with Ukraine, just like when it was the case from the very first days of the aggression, Ukraine will win, Poland will win, Europe and the entire Western world will win. We continue to be deeply thankful to our Polish brothers, friends, who continue to co-fight together with us. Thank you so much for your incredible support offered earlier on and right now to Ukraine. Among friends, talks should be conducted in an open and honest way. Are there any problems between us in Polish-Ukrainian relations? Yes, the answer is positive. We do have some historical problems. Should we solve them? Yes, obviously, this should be the case. Are there any mechanisms in place that will help us to solve all those problems? Yes, indeed. But what is needed is a sense of political will and legal will to tap into them. Let's be quite honest. We were incredibly disappointed with the decision of the President Nawrocki, when it comes to taking the medal away from Mr. Żołański. Our president had no choice but to return it, but one mistaken, flawed decision cannot justify others. Also flawed, mistaken decisions. So when my close friends and acquaintances started to return other Polish orders, and then it also started to happen here in Poland, I called it a swarm of not meteorites, but orders, medals. Mutual respect for the contribution of both Ukrainians and Poles in Polish-Ukrainian relations that seem to be a foundation of our being together, which is not an easy thing, but also our mutual alliance. Basically, we shouldn't be doing it. What is a possible solution when it comes to those deeply ingrained historical problems? This will not happen by way of political actions because we have all kinds of political forces taking power in both countries, and they try to speculate and they just try to win some political gain based on tragedy, crime. Today, we heard the presentations by the ambassadors, and we do know that there exists one mechanism of providing justice or doing justice. This can be done by way of signing by both Poland and Ukraine a special state agreement pertaining to creating an extraordinary mode when it comes to settling or determining any crimes instigated against both the Polish and the Ukrainian nation. That's why each and every criminal should be determined, each and every individual. We should gather all the facts and evidence. Later on, taking into account the fact that most often these individuals are no longer alive. Still, our modern legislation helps us to determine if a crime has been instigated, and we can have a court ruling against people who are no longer alive. This is our work for the decades to come. Only if there is a political will in both countries to determine specific names of all the perpetrators who instigated crimes against the Polish nation and the Ukrainian nation. We can determine specific surnames also when it comes to all the victims, because crimes mean that there are some specific surnames and identities of victims as well. And politicians have only slogans. What we need to do is to make sure that justice has been done. Ukraine cannot join the EU and NATO without the support of Poland. And I know that Polish society is debating. If Ukraine joins the EU, will it threaten the farming policy in Poland? I don't see this as a problem. This can be a major achievement because mutual export of both Poland and Ukraine, it means $90 billion in total. We have been operating at different levels of added value, so our actions aiming at connecting our competences, it can all double the export-related potential of both countries. The same is true when it comes to our industry. The general scale of the way the defense industry has been operating, including all the amounts in Poland from the SAFE program, it is more than $100 billion. So again, connecting the industry capacities of both Poland and Ukraine, everything that is needed in order to defend and protect both Ukraine and Poland, this will create an incredible economic potential for both countries. So I suppose that ahead of us, there is a bright, powerful version of future. The more we are together, the stronger we can be. The stronger we are together, the more successful we can be. Ukraine will win in this war. So long live both Ukraine and Poland. Thank you.